Guys, so I'm going to show you a super quick and easy way to create a scrolling website mockup using any stock photo that you have. Obviously, I'm going to be using one from the Atelier collection. And the simple thing that you'll need is to make sure that you can record your screen. If you're on a Mac, you can just use QuickTime. You can also use Loom and download the video. So whichever way, it's totally fine. The only thing that you need to make sure is that you have an MP4 type of file for Photoshop. So I have my stock photo open, and one thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is create a rectangle of how I envision the screen to be right here, and I'm just going to fill it with black. There we go, and I'm going to turn off everything so you can see that I have my black little rectangle in there. So I'm going to record my screen. I already did that so you don't have to be waiting on me. So I recorded our Penguin Designing brand website, and it's just literally a screen recording of it. And just so you see this, if I go and open up QuickTime and I say File, New Screen Recording, I have a little frame that I can move around or resize based on what I'm going to be recording. So you just record that and make sure that you have that MP4. If it generates a .mov, you simply change that to MP4 because it's using the same codec, so you can actually just change those three ending letters and it should still work. But if you're downloading from anywhere else, just make sure that you download as an MP4. And then in Photoshop, you're just gonna drag and drop the video, and it's gonna be just another layer. You are going to resize that and try to position it as close as you can to our new rectangle. And if it's not perfect, it's totally fine, don't fret. I'm just gonna place it, and then we're gonna do a clipping mask to the layer below, and I'm actually gonna be repositioning it to make sure that we are within the frame of that black square that we created there. So next step is you're gonna go up to Window and hit Timeline, and you're gonna see that we have a very crazy timeline going on in here. So I'm gonna go and move my playhead all the way to the beginning. You're gonna have all of them literally just up to the start, and it usually will give this to you. So just in case it didn't, I want you to see what happens. So here, we are going to make sure that we align all of these to be the same start and the same end, because this is how long a layer is going to be showing up in the video. And if one of them is shorter, for example, if the actual base, which would be the stock photo, is shorter, we will see the video keeps running, but the layer behind it just disappears. So we want to make sure that everything is aligned. And then what we are going to do is simply take a peek that everything is looking fine. And yeah, that looks good. So one thing that I like to do is grab that recording and add where is it? Let me just bring up the adjustments, and I'm going to do a pattern overlay on it. I use a kind of a noise overlay, and I keep it super low, because if you go crazy then it's kind of look weird. But if you do under 20, you get an extra effect, making it look a little bit more real, because the whites are always going to be a little bit too bright. And you can even down the opacity, just turn it down to 98, for example. And now you can tell that the highlights are a little bit more matching to the rest of the image. So it really depends on the image as well. But that is just a little trick to make sure that the screen looks as real as possible. And there you have it. There you have your scrolling mockup. And what you're going to do to export this is just go into this little menu and select that, and just hit Render Video. Save it wherever you want to save that. Click Render, and you'll have it. If you want to also do it from the File menu, you can go up here and then Export, Render Video, and you're gonna get that same little notice. So test render, you hit render, and you will just let the system run. It does take a little while because it is generating a video for you. So just give it time, wait for it to render, and let me pause this so that you don't have to be waiting on that. All right, so now the render has been finished, and you can see that we have our original recording that we just took from the screen itself. So this is just the browser, but now I created a square file for my Instagram. So that's why you can see that it has the top and the bottom black bars, but at the end of the day, it is a video ready to be posted, and it's just the scrolling mockup right inside of the stock photo. So you can do this with any stock photo and really anything. You could even just do like a colored background, or grab a scene creator and use just like the computer itself, standing in nothing but a brand color of yours. So really you can get crazy and do anything just to showcase your website and your offers. And it's just a fun way to add some dynamic elements with video. And yeah, so if you use Photoshop, this is a super easy way to create your own scrolling mockup.